Hi everybody, and welcome back to my modeling channel. So today I'm gonna start an F-18 from the Swiss Air Force with the Tigermet decals made in 2016. So I'm gonna use an Italeri kit. Scale it will be 1/72, and I'll have also some an extra resin kit to add some more details and reality to the kit. So let's open the box and see what we have inside. Alright, so the kit is composed with two screws from grey plastic and one clear part. So the screw with the clear part, of course, will be the landing lights, and you'll have the canopy, and basically you have the possibility to make one or two-seater for that F-18, but I'm gonna make the single-seater. Then the other screws, well, basically it's quite basic kit. Shapes looks to be all good, but basically all the details are outside, so I'm gonna have to regrave all the details on that kit. So that's what we have at the moment on this one. So basically you have the lower part of the fuselage, most of the tanks, the wings pylon for the missiles, the nose, and the undercarriage and the wings. Now the other part will be the first part of the fuselage, then the front part, the wings, the tail, of course, and you have the wing fairing and all the details for the cockpit. Now let's have a quick look on the decal sheet. Decal sheet is pretty colorful, actually that's why I choose that kit, and it will be the Tigermet from 2016. Now let's have a look on the resin parts, where I'm going to do a lot of details. So for those high resin quality accessories, I'm going to use the brand called RS. This is the first time I'm using them. That's supposed to go for an Asegawa kit, but as I'm going to do the Italeri, well, I'll have to do some adjustment most probably. So let's see what we have in that part. So the kit is composed from the cockpit with the ejection seats and the instrument panel in resin, and you have also some photo etch parts for the cockpit itself, and some instrument panel who are in very high definition. So I will put that aside, and then I will start to assemble that. So first, now I'm gonna clean up all the parts, and I will start to assemble a part of the resin cockpit together and see how the fitting is done. Then shortly after that, I will start to prepare all the parts, as the panel lines are outside, so I have to use some rescribing tool, and so I will rescribe everything slowly, starting now with the wings. So for this, what you do, you took a black pencil, and then you make the contour line of all the panel lines, and then using the rescribing panel, then you can do the job. After that, you have to use some sandpaper. I'm using on this a sandpaper sponge, and to remove all the excess panel lines, and then you can rescribe it. So I did that for the wings and all the aircraft itself.
So as I was mentioning earlier, now it's time to assemble the cockpit. So for that I have to do some adjustments, as the kit was normally made for another brand. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to remove now the glare shield on the kit itself and prepare the parts, and then work on the cockpit of that F-18. I'm gonna start painting the cockpit in a normal grey color, and then I will start to do the whole assembly and start painting and detailing. So now, as you can see, the glare shield and the cockpit panel needs to be in black, so you will see that. Then after I will start to apply a dry wash with a metallic grey, and this will help me to show up all the buttons, press buttons, and the engine panel lights as well on the inside the cockpit. After finishing detailing the cockpit, it's time now to attach that to the aircraft. So I will have to finish to modify basically the canopy and the glare shield, as you can see, and then I will start to glue it on the aircraft itself. And then I have also to open some panel line on the left of and the right side of the fuselage. So I'll have to remove some excess plastic. Then it's time now to start assembling the kit itself. I now need as well to add some modeling paste, as I use that as a ballast on the front of the aircraft to make sure that the plane will sit on his front wheel instead of sitting on his back. Once the cockpit has been finished to be glued, it's time to put some putty all around it. So this is what I'm doing, and of course after we will start to have to sand the model itself. So on this model it was a little bit particular, because what I did as I started basically each part separately. I started the plane itself, the cockpit and the front part, then I had to sand it down, and then I will add another part of the rear part of the fuselage, put some putties, let it dry, and then sand it down again, and then so on and so on for the wings. Now that the plane is finished, it's time just to finish the ejection seat. So I will put all the seat belts with the photo edge parts, and then I will paint them, and then I will put it inside the cockpit, close the canopy, and after that the plane will be ready for the paint job. Now, as I'm getting ready for the paint job, the next step is to basically cover the cockpit, and after that, once all the clear part will be covered, it will be time for painting the model itself. So for this, I had to do 2 coats. I used a very clear grey for the bottom and the belly of the aircraft, and a darker grey for the upper surface. So while the paint is getting dry slowly, I'm doing the external tanks that will be on the belly later on, and I will continue and finish up the model. So after that, I will start doing all the details, the undercarriage as well, and then once that will be ready, we'll start the decaling process. So it's becoming now the time to do the final paint adjustment. So as you can see, I will have to paint the nose cone, basically from part of the nose cone in a matte white, and then I'll start to do the details on the back of the engines as well. So now it's the time to assemble the undercarriage. So I will use some regular glue basically, and put the wheels and on the main springs. So as the model is now almost finished, I will start to put all the decals on the aircraft, and you will see the result can be fine. The final result will be pretty nice. So after the decals, the next thing will be doing a little bit of weathering, and this will be also an interesting part for you. While the decals are drying, now I'm doing the sidewinders. So they were part on a glossy part, and then I'll have to add some different color band. And I also had to pierce some holes on the back of the side itself, just to give that feeling that it's not completely empty. So now I'm going to finish decaling, and I will put the exhaust pipe as well on the engines, and I will do some weathering. For that I will use some makeup kits as well to get some darker colors, and I will use that also on the flaps and some other parts of the aircraft, which gives more realistic detail. So this is the final result. I hope you enjoyed that build with me. If you did so, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and you can also check out my other video on the top left corner. Thank you for watching. See you on my next build.